Good morning, everyone, and welcome to yet another vlog of BVM this time. Yes, I got a lot of requests from all over the country to create some short videos, revisionary videos of business valuation management. And yes, I've started creating small videos. I'll be coming up with more videos of this sort in the future. So this will aid you to revise your BVM topics very quickly in say 10 to 15 minutes, and I'll be covering the entire chapter of brand in this video. So let me first ask you, what do you mean by brand? What is brand? Your answer will be, sir, brand is the logo, the trademark, the name of the product or the company, the name of the sign which appears on the label or the packaging of a particular product. These all things comprise of a brand. Absolutely correct. So if I summarize in two words, then brand means the complete experience which a company or a product offers. It is the complete experience. So it is the package for which you pay money, which is known as brand. So for example, if you go on a particular outlet for eating food, then you go over there not only for good quality food, but also for good ambience, also for good seating arrangement, also for good after the services which are provided by the waiters and by the staff of the restaurant. You also go there for consistency. So you feel that the products of this particular restaurant are consistent and their taste is consistent, their quality is consistent, their services are consistent. So brand is nothing but the entire experience which a consumer gains by consuming a particular product. And let me tell you that it is only because of this good experience that consumer are ready to pay a higher price for good experience, a higher price for a good brand. So assume a situation where you are going to purchase a Will's Lifestyle shirt. You are willing to pay even a higher amount for that shirt because you are assured that the quality which goes into a Will's Lifestyle shirt would be of superior quality and it cannot have any inferiority in that particular product. And that is why brand generally commands a higher weightage even than the product itself. So sometimes you are ready to pay a higher price only and only because of the brand. So this is the importance of brand, and since brand is so important in any business, it is very important to value brand as well. So I am on page number 10.1 of the module and I am discussing the three approaches of valuing brand. First approach is the market based approach. So this approach is a little less popular amongst the valuers for valuing brand. But according to this approach, the brand value should be valued on the basis of similar brands which are existing in the market. Now, the downside of this particular approach is that there cannot be a situation where two brands are absolutely similar, because every brand has got its own USP and has got its own features. So it is difficult to value a brand on the basis of this approach, but theoretically this approach exists, which is the market approach, which means the value of your brand should be equal to the value of similar brand which are available in the market. This is known as the market approach. Second approach is the income approach. Income approach means the economic benefits which you are expecting to derive from that particular brand are valued on a present value today. So if you are sure that you are going to earn rupees 10 lakh per annum for next 10 years for this from this particular brand, then you will aggregate those 10 lakh rupees per annum and discount it to the current year's discounting factor, and present value will be the value of the brand. This is the second approach, which is known as income approach. The third approach is cost approach. So here you are aggregating the entire cost which you have incurred for creating that brand. Or what you do is you assume that if you want to recreate that brand, what all cost will be incurred. So this approach aggregates all the costs which are involved in creating that particular brand. So these are the three approaches theoretically for brand valuation. Guys, from an exam perspective, income approach is the most important approach because the examiners give practical questions from income approach very often. So now let us discuss the income approach in a little detail. Now suppose you bought a product for rupees 1200, and if I tell you that product of similar nature, quality, characteristics is available in market for rupees 800, but this product is unbranded and the product which you bought is branded. So it is apparent that the difference of 400 rupees has been paid by you on account of brand. So if I want to value the brand, then what will I do? I will reduce from the branded income the unbranded income for the year. So I will reduce the branded income from unbranded income for the entire year, and then I will compute the present value of this differential, and that present value will be termed as the value of the brand. If there are any additional expenditure like R&D incurred for maintaining this brand, then I will also deduct those expenses while computing the value of the brand. Now, so the question is, how would branded income be computed? Simple. Number of units sold multiplied by market price of that particular product with brand minus number of units sold multiplied by market price of that product if it is unbranded, minus any R&D expenditure which you are incurring for maintaining the brand. This is how you are going to arrive at the profit which is derived from the brand. Now, if I compute the present value by multiplying this revenue with the discounting factor, then that value will be termed as my value of the brand. Now, in this entire process, please remember that any non-operating income or expenses will be excluded while computing the brand value. So suppose if you have capital gains which are included in your branded income, then you have to exclude those capital gains, because sometimes the question would not give you number of units and market price, but it will give you the entire revenue of the company. In that case, you have to exclude non-operating income and expenses from this formula to compute the value of the brand. Sometimes the examiner will give you inflation rates. So if examiner gives you inflation rates and it gives you data of sales of say past 3 years, then you have to factor in these inflation rates while computing the brand income also. So these are the two adjustments which examiner can give you. He can give you non-operating income or expenses, and he can give you inflation rates, and he will give you past 3 years data for revenue and expenses, and you have to escalate your revenues based on the inflation rates which are provided in the question paper. Now, inflation rates can come in two forms. Form number one, So you are given 3 years. For the latest year, the inflation rate is 1. For 1 year back, the inflation rate is say 1.084. And for 2 years back, the inflation rate is 1.181. This is a simple case where you just have to multiply these inflation rates with the income of the respective years, income of year 1, income of year 2, and income of year 3, and you will be able to find the revenue from brand of these 3 years. But the critical aspect comes when the question gives you inflation rates in terms of percentage. 8%, 10%, 12%. Sir, if we are given inflation rates in terms of percentage in the examination, sir, how will we determine the inflation rates in decimals like this before multiplying it from the income with the income of the respective years? Now this is a challenge. So let me show you a question which will give you a similar thing in form of percentages. Please see question number 7 of your module. It is giving you EBIT. It gives you non-branded income. It gives you inflation percentage. So 8, 15, 11 is the percentage of inflation which is given in the question. Now, you can compute the brand revenue by deducting EBIT with non-brand income. 525 minus 45, 280 minus 15. But then before multiplying it with the inflation rate, you have to compute the inflation rate in terms of decimals 1.0, 1.08, 1.18, etc. How to compute decimals from percentages if inflation percentage is given? That is a very, very critical aspect of this particular chapter. Now let me take it up separately. Inflation rates, form 2. I'll make a timeline for you. 2012, 2013, 2014. These are the 3 years, and in these 3 years the inflation rates are 8%, 11%, 14%. You have to value the brand at the end of year 2014. This is the place where we are valuing our brand. And we are given revenues for 2012, 2013 and 2014, which we need to factor into while computing the value of the brand at the end of year 2014. Now sir, how to compute it in decimal form so that we can easily multiply it with revenue? Okay, please listen to this carefully. Suppose 2012's revenue is 200 crores. Revenue from brand I'm talking about, which is computed by subtracting unbranded revenue from branded revenue, 200 crores. Next is 350 crores. And 2014 it is say 500 crores. These are the 3 revenues, brand revenues, which have been earned in these 3 years. Now I need to compute the inflation percentage and multiply it with the revenue to compute the revenue value of brand as on 2015 year end. Okay, sir. Got it. So let me start with 2012. Guys, tell me one thing. In 200 crores which we have earned during 2012, this is the figure which is of your revenue of 2012. In this figure, is 8% inflation already factored in? Answer is yes. Because sir, this revenue was earned in 2012, so 8% inflation rate in cost as well as revenue has also already been factored in the 200 crores. So yes, perfect. So tell me which inflation rate is not factored into in 200 crores. It is 11% and 4%. Perfect. So if I multiply 11% and 14%, if I multiply 11% and 14%, then this is the inflation factor for 2012. Yes, sir. Perfect. Now tell me, while computing 350 crores, is 11% factored into 350 crores? Answer is yes, because this revenue was earned in 2013 when this inflation factor was existing. Now tell me, is 8% of any relevance for 350 crores? Answer is no, 8% is of no relevance for 350 crores because 8% was the inflation of the prior year. So which is the inflation which is left to be factored into in this 350 crores? It is 14%. So 14% is the inflation factor. 1.14 is the inflation factor for 2013. And for the last year, you guys give me an answer. Is 14% already factored in 500 crores? Answer is yes. Is 11% and 8% anywhere relevant to 14%, which is 2014 revenue, 500 crores? Is 11% and 8% anywhere relevant for it? Answer is not relevant. So what is the inflation factor for 2014? Answer is 1. 1 is the inflation factor for 2014. So this is how you compute the inflation factors for the years if the amount is given to you in percentage. So let me compute the inflation factor for you for the first year, which is 2012. Inflation factor for 2012 is 1.2654. Inflation factor for 2013 is 1.4. Inflation factor for 2014 is 1. So this is the answer. Now you can multiply this with 200 crores, 1.14 with 350 crores, and 500 with 1 to get your brand profits. And once you get your brand profits, you can easily subtract remuneration from capital from these brand profits and arrive at the answer of value of brand. Yes, sir. So this is a critical topic of the brand valuation. Please attempt all the questions which have been given in the module for your revision. The notes are available on Agarwal Law House website. You can download notes at a very nominal cost from the Agarwal Law House website. No registration required, no downloading of any app is required. You can just log into the website and download these notes along with the class notes. And if you face any queries with respect to business valuation management and SPM, you can simply write into me on my Facebook Messenger. And guys, I have also subscribed to a Telegram channel, which is Global CMA Final Telegram channel, which is exclusively dedicated to CMA final students. And I resolve your queries through audio mode. That is an audio platform in Telegram app. It is an audio mode whereby I resolve all your queries of cost audit as well as BVM SPM on Telegram app. You can download that app, be a part of that group, Global CMA group. I'll also give a link of that group on this video, and you can make most use of this particular platform. And of course, for any queries, please feel free to write to me, and I will be happy to help you with any of your problems. And for more updates, for more revisionary classes, definitely I'll be coming up with some short videos before the examination. All the best, guys. October is ticking, clock is ticking. You have to prepare really well. November is only left for December examination. Do well, prepare well, and happy studying.